Morning, guys. Welcome to the DITV post-draft show. I'm your host, Lucy Rodine, and Iowa proved yet again that this weekend they are one of the best programs in the country for getting players to the NFL. So let's start things off by looking in the first round on Thursday night. First off the draft board for Iowa was tight end TJ Hawkinson, who was drafted at the 8th pick by the Detroit Lions. Detroit had only 45 catches from their tight ends last season. To put that in perspective, last year alone, Hawkinson had 49 catches for Iowa. He will be receiving passes from Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford and will be part of yet another dynamic duo at tight end with Jesse James, who the Lions recently picked up in free agency. Detroit made a lot of moves this offseason to improve their receiving game, and Hawkinson is going to be a big piece of that puzzle. Now, we didn't get to hear from TJ after the draft, but he did his best to preview the moment for us. And although I'm sure going to Nashville was nice and that contract he's getting is even nicer, he really just wants to play football.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I'm just, like I said, I mean, I'm really not in it for the glam or the glory, so you know, it's cool, but on the same hand, I'm just ready to go, dive into the playbook and learn, so.
Now, I'm sure TJ was a little more excited than that to hear Roger Goodell call his name on Thursday, and he got some attention on Twitter Thursday night for wearing the exact same jacket and tie to the draft that he wore for his Iowa football headshot. It's classic TJ. But moving on to part 2 of Iowa's double-headed monster at tight end, Noah Fant is officially a Bronco. Denver traded the number 10 pick to the Steelers for a second-round pick, a 2022 third-rounder, and pick number 20, where they found Joe Flacco's newest target, Noah Fant. Fant's speed and insane athleticism already has him as the favorite to be the #1 tight end in Denver, and he will be joining 3 other tight ends from the Big Ten in the Mile High City. After the selection, Broncos general manager John Elway tweeted he was very fortunate to land Fant at the 20th spot, and Fant is feeling very fortunate to get to share this big moment with his family.
It's going to be a day, you know, where, you know, my parents get to reap the benefits also of, you know, being able to put me through my career and push me and provided me, you know, good parental figures, and not only them, but, you know, my brothers and sisters also. So it's going to be a very special day, and, you know, not only a special day for me, but a special day for my family.
Gotta love that from Fant there. Now, it hurts a little that he and Hawkinson have officially taken their talents to the NFL, but although Iowa may have lost those guys, they're gaining something else in return. Iowa was easily one of the most talked about programs heading into the draft, and offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz knows that exposure like that will help, but at Iowa, it's just about finding the right guys, like Hawkinson and Fant.
We should have a pretty good TV commercial Thursday night. Hopefully guys are watching, but ultimately it's still going to come down to recruiting the right guys. And TJ Hawkinson was a guy that had 2 offers when he committed to us. One was from us, one was from Iowa State. No one else was involved in him. Wasn't heralded. Wasn't heralded as recently as maybe 6 months ago. Now is looking at, you know, fulfilling his dream of playing in the NFL. So I think it's a lot more about the person. You know, Noah Fant had a few more offers, but Noah Fant wasn't a national recruit either. He was more of a regional guy. I guess UCLA was involved at the end. But it wasn't like he had a million schools that he was choosing from. It was pretty regional. And, you know, ultimately he was the right person too.
And there were several other right guys for Iowa who are heading to the NFL. Anthony Nelson was drafted at the 107th pick in the 4th round to the Bucks. Amani Hooker heard his name just a few picks later when he was drafted by the Titans at the 116th spot, wrapping up the Hawkeyes that were drafted. But there are also some players picked up in free agency. Nick Easley signed a contract with the Bills, Matt Nelson signed with the Lions, Keegan Render is joining the Eagles, and Ross Reynolds is heading to the 49ers. And a couple of Iowa players will get their chance at a rookie minicamp. Sam Brinks will get his shot with the Packers, Jake Gervais is heading out to Oakland, Kyle Gronewig is going to Minnesota, and Parker Hesse will get his chance with the Chiefs. Now, out of all these players, I think outside of Hawkinson and Fant, the one that has the best shot at having a lengthy career in the NFL is actually Nick Easley with the Bills. I really like the way he fits into that system, and I think we can expect to see him make an impact immediately on special teams for Buffalo. But that's all the time I have for you today. Come back tomorrow to see how current football players are looking at the final spring practice, and hopefully they're looking good enough so that they'll be on our draft show next year. Melissa and Noah, back to you.